Joining us via Zoom is Ambassador Gholam Reza Mahdavi Raja, the Iranian ambassador to Nigeria. Your Excellency, we're happy you are joining us via Zoom.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. It's my pleasure to have in your program. Good evening to you, to your audiences, viewers, listeners. I hope our discussion today will be fruitful for your audiences and constructive and informative.
Sure. Thank you. First of all, I want to use this opportunity on behalf of the board and management of Media Trust Group to extend our condolences over the death of the Supreme Leader and other key personalities in your country, Iran.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for your sympathy.
Thank you. And now, we want you to tell us the situation currently following the attacks on Iran and also what you have done across the region.
In the name of God, the compassionate, merciful, first of all, let me describe the latest situation in Iran. Despite the aggression by the United States and the Israel regime, the situation in Iran is under the control. Our defensive and security institutions are fully operational, and the government continues to function normally. What is important to emphasize is that Iranian people are now united in defending their country. Iran has a long history of resilience in the face of external pressure and aggression, in fact. While some facilities and infrastructures have been targeted, the country's core capabilities and institutions remain intact. The reality is that such attacks cannot break the will of Iranian people. On the contrary, they have, strengthened national unity and determination to defend our sovereignty and territorial integrity. So, in addition, yesterday, Iranian's new leader, Ayatollah Mahdavi Khamenei, the Iranian supreme leader, was elected as the leader by the Assembly of Experts. With this decision, the country's leadership structure has been clearly determined, and we are confident that the administration of the country will continue smoothly and even more effectively.
But outside Iran, there are fears. I don't know what is happening within Iran, especially going by what the American president, Donald Trump, said in respect to, getting a new leader, a new supreme leader for Iran, that the U.S. must have a say. This is a follow-up to what you said, rightly, that there is a new supreme leader in person of the son of the late Khomeini.
This is internal issue. This is internal affairs of Iran, and we do not let anybody or any countries to interfere in our domestic issues and internal affairs. And thanks God, we had yesterday announced that the new supreme leader, the son of the late supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei. Some countries and someone wish in order to interfere to our domestic issues, but we do not let. My country, my people will not let any foreigners to interfere to our domestic issues. Iran is an independent country. Iran makes decision itself, and we do not let any countries to interfering to our domestic issues. And we did. We decide. The Assembly of Experts decide and elect the new supreme leader in order to get the control of the country.
Okay, can you give us maybe a clearer perspective on the level of, I mean, damage, if I can put it that way, that
Okay, naturally,
Iran has suffered?
yeah,
Yes.
sure. Naturally, any military aggression causes, damage and human suffering, and Iran is no exception. Some infrastructure and facilities have been targeted, and there have been casualties for sure. But however, Iran has significant national capacities to manage these challenges. The government has mobilized relevant institutions to assist affected areas, restore the damaged infrastructure, and ensure the continuity of essential services. More importantly, the Iranian people have repeatedly demonstrated their resilience during difficult periods in our history, despite the pressure and destruction caused by these attacks. The country continues to function and the society remains stable. Nowadays, the life in Iran is normal. The life is normal, and the normal life is going on. You may be informed by the CNN reporters from inside Tehran city and some other cities. He announced that normal life in Iran is going on, and the picture of the city is somehow normal, and the life is going on. That is the reality.
Your Excellency, when you said life is normal, does that mean that children are going to school? Utilities, let's say
No.
water, electricity are being supplied to the people. Hospitals are providing
electricity.
services.
We have all the facilities, but in order to take care of the unexpected casualties, we for sure such as these circumstances, we close the schools, we close the universities, because it's not logic, to open such as these institutions and places. You have been informed about attack of the United States. For the first day of attack was Saturday last week. They attacked to the school in Minop city. School girls. Girls. That school was a primary school, which 168 children were killed, and were killed by Tomahawk missiles of the United States, which is approved. They verified, the reporters, that attack responsibility of that attack is for United States by Tomahawk missiles. So in these circumstances, it is evidence that we have to close the schools, we have to close universities, not to have more human casualties, because they targeted, the civilians, residentials capabilities, and civilian buildings and residential buildings.
But there are also allegations that, on the other side, you also target civilian buildings and facilities that are protected by international laws, maybe across Tel Aviv and other places. Could that be correct?
No. Maybe you are just talking about the Persian Gulf countries, which we attacked to some facilities and military bases which are located and assets which are located in the Persian Gulf countries. You know,
Yes.
we attack to those military targets. In this regard, be aware, sir, that in these circumstances, the Zionist regime or the United States, following the issue or the subject of the false flag operation, which some of them are approved, that they are doing some operation. I mean, you know, in the Persian Gulf countries, attacking, you know, or bombarding the civilians' buildings, and they just announced the responsibility of those attacks to Iran. We concentrate on a military bases and military assets of the United States in the region, which we before announced it.
Okay, is it correct, the insinuation that President Trump had actually tried to bring about a ceasefire, but then the council in Iran rejected that offer? Is that correct?
You know, the issue and the matter of something so-called ceasefire proposal or something like, you know, unexceptional surrender, Iran has always supported diplomacy and peaceful solution. However, a ceasefire that ignores the root cause of the conflict cannot bring sustainable peace. The reality is that Iran did not start this war. Iran was attacked. Therefore, expecting the victim of aggression to immediately accept a ceasefire without addressing the aggression itself is, you know, neither realistic nor just. As long as military aggression continues, there is simply no room. I emphasize to these sentences, this is my latest position, government. As long as military aggression continues, there is simply no room for talks. While such aggression persists, speaking about anything other than a firm and decisive response is out of question. We were in the middle of the negotiation when this war was imposed on us. Under these circumstances, we have no choice. We have no choice. Resolved to resist the hegemonic ambitions of the United States and Zionist regime. Now there is no room for negotiation. There is no room for, you know, ceasefire. Our concentration and our priority is to defend. Nowadays, we are united in order to defend the country, the sovereignty, the territorial integrity. This is our first priority. We are thinking about this.
Okay, Your Excellency, how prepared is Iran to continue with this war militarily and in terms of equipment to continue prosecuting the war? How prepared is Iran?
Iran is prepared. Iran is prepared for this war, and we have the capabilities. We have the capabilities in order to respond to any kind of aggression, which will going on and with the United States and Israel. And we have shown during these more than 1 week resistance that we are capable in order to defend ourselves, defend our people, defend our country, in order to protect our integral sovereignty and integral, let's say, our borders and the cities. So we try to do our best, and we are capable, and our military capabilities are fully ready in order to defend the country.
Okay, the Israeli ambassador to Nigeria recently alleged that Iran is sponsoring terrorism in different countries, including in Nigeria. How do you react to that allegation?
The accusation, let's say, this is, these accusations are completely baseless and politically motivated. Iran has always respected sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity of Nigeria. We have never supported any group or activity aimed at destabilizing this country. Nigeria is an important partner and respected partner for Iran in Africa. And our relations are based on a mutual respect and cooperation. And it is also important to recall that Iran itself has been a victim of terrorism for decades. And our country has suffered significant human and material losses as a result of terrorist attacks. Therefore, such an accusation against Iran are not only unfounded, but also deeply ironic. We categorically deny these baseless allegations. We are in a good relation, in a good level of bilateral, regional, and international relation with the Nigerian government. The two countries respect to others, to the other party, the other government, and so we are satisfied with the level of bilateral relation in politics, in economy, in trade, in cultural, and so I think we do not have, pay more attention to such these allegations which was raised, and these are baseless, sir.
Probably the Israeli ambassador made the allegation going by the way, especially members of Islamic movement of Nigeria, demonstrated across Nigeria, in Lagos, in Kaduna, in Kano, in Bauchi, in Gombe, in Abuja, and other places. What is the relationship between Iran and the Islamic movement of Nigeria?
The relation is based on the spiritual and moral and cultural, connection and sympathy. Not that's more than this. The same as other, connection which we have with the different, groups, Islamic groups, not Shia, but not also Shia, but also not only Shia, but also Sunni groups in everywhere. In African continents, not only Africa, but the other continents and the other countries, that connection and that relation is moral and spiritual. Some of them, in Muslim words, are followers of, spiritually and religiously, the followers of supreme leader. It doesn't mean that Iran will support that group or this group without evidence. Nobody can say anything.
If I understand, what you are trying to say is beyond the moral.
In order to raise the allegation without any facts, we have not to pay more attention to that fact.
Okay,
to that
beyond the moral and the spiritual connection, there is no financial support from Iran for any group in Nigeria?
No. For sure, no, sir. For sure, no. No support. Only spiritual and cultural and moral.
Okay.
The same as the other groups in Africa. Muslims.
Okay.
Doesn't matter Sunni or Shia. That's all. Yeah.
Okay. What is the justification for the closure of the Strait of Hormuz by Iran, which has cut over 20% of fuel supply to the other parts of the world? Is it a bargaining deal, or you want to achieve something? Yes.
Can you repeat your question again?
Yes, Your Excellency.
You are talking about the...
I said yes. What is the justification? Iran, to greater extent, has blocked the Strait of Hormuz. What is the justification for that? Is it a bargaining tool?
Iran is no... Iran? You mean the Strait of Hormuz?
Yes.
So Iran, let me clarify the issue that Iran has not, in fact, closed the Strait of Hormuz, and has no plans to do so. If any such action were to be taken, it would be officially announced. Iran has also affirmed that navigation in the strait will continue in accordance with the international law and establish maritime regulations. What Iran is doing is exercising its sovereign rights in its territorial waters, including monitoring and controlling maritime traffic in order to ensure the security in the sensitive waterway. This should not be interpreted as closing the strait. The Strait of Hormuz remains open for international shipping. However, it's also clear, the continued military escalation in the region by external powers could threaten the stability of the vital route through which a significant portion of the world energy passes. Iran has always emphasized that the security of this region should be ensured by the countries of the region themselves.
Then why the obstruction? Because already, if you look at it, Your Excellency, the price of petrol, even in Nigeria, has skyrocketed. It's now nearly 1,200 naira, even here in Abuja, not to talk of other places. And this is across the world. This
is the reality, that this is the result, the normal result of this aggression, this conflict. It is obvious that if you have a conflict in the strategic region, which is Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz, you have to ask the aggressors why you have the aggression to independent countries such as Iran. Why you didn't think about increasing the energy prices. You have to ask the question of the United States and Zionist regime, why you did such this aggression. And the world community facing with the increasing of the energy resources. For sure, if you have a war, if you have an unsecure region, the transportation, the traffic in this region will be undermined and will be influenced by the attack. This is normal, very normal.
Okay, can we say it's also a bargaining chip for Iran, so that the rest of the world will also rein in United States of America and Israel in order to also have a think over the aggression against your country?
Sorry, can you, I just...
Yes, I said, okay, what is happening now, this stalemate around the Strait of Hormuz, can we say it's a bargaining chip, it's a bargaining tool, is the strength of Iran to get, a fair deal in the disagreement between your country, United States of America and Israel?
You're talking about the Strait of Hormuz?
Yes. Meaning that if they agree to also let you be, you will also allow peace to reign along these straits.
So it depends on them. They do not prefer already in order to pass, to passing these Strait of Hormuz because of the risks, because it's a the region which is not secure. They do not prefer to pass. They prefer to stay, not to have a risk because of insurance, because of the possibility of to be targeting, because it's a war. We haven't closed the Strait of Hormuz. Any ships can pass away and passing of that strait. It depends on them, but we are monitoring. So
Okay.
we said to formally and officially today, we have not closed the Strait of Hormuz. It depends on those countries who are interested to pass or not to pass. It's up to them, but we haven't closed it.
Okay.
And we
Most of the
take
Gulf
into
states-
consideration that the
most of the
situation
Gulf
in the
states-
situation in the region is not secure,
Okay, Your
and that is the
Excellency,
that is
most of the Gulf
and
states,
Iran will not. Yeah,
Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, among others, are complaining that you are also bullying them in a way. How will you defend this, and then including your attacks on these countries? And how will this problem be resolved?
the issue of the Persian Gulf countries, they are friend of Iran. We have a good relation, but the point is that we cannot tolerate. We announced it before. We cannot tolerate, and now we are implemented. We cannot tolerate to be targeted, to be attacked by the bases of the military bases and assets of the United States in these countries. The United States has so many bases, military bases and assets in the Persian Gulf countries, and they are attacking to my country from those bases. And this is not acceptable for Iran. Iran will attack to those bases, not to attack to the territory of our friends and Persian Gulf countries in the region. We attack to those bases because those bases belong to the United States. And we inform them not to let the American army and military forces to use those bases. That is clear message. I think any countries should be, instead of Iran, will do this, because Iran, Persian Gulf, region, they have so many bases, and today, even today, they invade Iran from those bases, and we do not tolerate it, and we retaliate those bases. So we respect to the sovereignty. We respect to the independency of those countries. We only attack to the military bases and assets of the United States to the region.
All right, I have just two last questions for you, Your Excellency. I have just two last questions. Yes, I have just two last questions. One is, keep United States of America aside. Do you think Israel singularly can confront Iran for a fight?
For sure, no. For sure, no. For sure, no. And now it's a support of the United States to confront and to attack to Iran with the huge support, with the full support of the United States.
And finally, now that there is a new spiritual leader, but then there is also a threat from the United States of America that if it has no input in the selection, the new leader will also not last long. How prepared is the Iranian army and other security agencies to protect the new spiritual leader? Going by what happened at the beginning of the crisis when the spiritual leader and senior officials of government were killed at the same time.
You know, the first point you mentioned, the input of the selection of the new supreme leader for Iran, the input should not be for the United States. United States is, you know, out of question. The output and the result of the election of the new supreme leader should be for the people of Iran. We haven't selected the new supreme leader in order to get the United States happy, or to guarantee the input and the result and the outcome for the United States from selecting the new supreme leader. Iran is an independent country. Iran make a decision itself without any interfering, without let the other countries and the foreigners to interfering to its domestic issues. So that is the first, the outcome and the input of the new supreme leader is for Iranian people in the country. And the second part is we know how to protect our territory. We know how to protect our people. We know how to protect the sovereignty, and we know how to protect our leadership. This is our duty. This is our obligation. And we have to protect all the, items which subject which I issue for you. Iran is capable, and now we will continue to defend ourselves, to defend the people, the country. And let me just tell you, sir, the main purpose and the main aim of the United States and the Zionist regime for these brutal and unprovoked aggression is for the United States to get the Iranian reserves, energy reserves and the oil resources. They announced it themselves. The executive of the White House Energy Council recently officially stated that the U.S. aim to take full control of Iran oil resources. And the aim goal of the Zionist regime is to disintegration of Iran. They draw a map to take part Iran, to make it, separate and to disintegrate it, my country, as an Abraham, Accord plan.
I'm compelled to now
Iran, let me tell you, Iran will not be the last country. Anybody should know, Iran will not be the last country to be attacked. United States and Zionist regime will go next. After finishing this conflict, they will go to attack to other countries in some continents. They are using in order to have this aggression behavior.
I am compelled to now ask, yes, because you have raised a very fundamental issue, and I'm compelled to ask you this question. Is it that the United States is just pretending, saying there is uranium enrichment by Iran in order to have nuclear? You think they are not saying the truth? It's just an alibi.
Iran, and Iran is a member of the IAEA. Iran is a full member of the IAEA, and we are under the monitoring and safeguarding of the IAEA, and we fully respect to all regulations and all instructions by the IAEA, and they approved the Iranian purpose of the nuclear energy, which is peaceful. And if somebody should, let's say, ask about the nuclear activity, they have to ask Israel. Israel possesses around 200 nuclear warheads while refusing to join nuclear non-proliferation treaty. Iran is a member of the non-proliferation treaty, nuclear non-proliferation treaty. Israel will not be a member of that treaty. Iran activity of nuclear energy is peaceful, and we respect, and we announced it several times that we are not looking for any kind of, nuclear weapons. And late Supreme Leader expressed it and announced it officially several times. Thank you.
All right. Finally,
thank you very much.
Yes. Finally, Your Excellency, what is your message to the Gulf states?
Over.
Yes.
The
finally,
time is
just
over.
Your final word to them.
The time is over.
Yes. Just final word to them. Your final word to the Gulf states. Do you think they will survive U.S. aggression if they didn't have retrospection?
Sorry, again?
I said the Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, UAE, if they don't have a rethink over their relationship with the United States, do you think in the future they will also survive attack of the United States?
So it depends on them. It depends on them. I don't know why, but relation with the United States and hosting the military assets and bases in the country would be risky, because the United States using such these facilities against the other countries. And we announced it before that the next war, we announced it before the recent aggression of the United States and Zionist regime. If the war will be, happen, this war will not be a bilateral war. It would be a regional war, because United States use of those countries against Iran, and we have a right in order to defend and to attack those interests, bases, military bases.
All right. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for giving us the time to interview you on this very, very important issue.
You're welcome. You're welcome, sir. Have a nice time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Obviously, we've been with Ambassador Gholam Reza Mahdavi Raja, the ambassador of Iran to Nigeria, discussing the war between Iran on one hand, United States of America, and Israel on the other. That brings us to the end of today's package of Daily Politics. Join us tomorrow for another interesting edition of the program. From here, I'm Hamza Idris. Good night.